Howdy guys, how's it going? So we are getting out on the tail end of the day, but we're going to take and set up a very simple camp. I'm really happy because we've got a bit of a cold front or a cool front, depending on how you look at it, that's coming through. So tonight the lows are projected to be around 48, 49 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's going to be very nice sleeping weather. But we're just going to be going with a very simple tarp setup and then just chilling in our sleeping bag. Not even got a bivvy for this one. Do have a new piece of gear though in ways of a jacket slash smock slash utility wear that we'll take a look at once the temps drop down a little bit more. Walking in, hiking in, it was really, really nice. The temperature right now has got to be sitting somewhere around the 56, 55 degree range. It's really nice weather to be out and soak up the spring foliage. But with all that said, we're going to take and go ahead and start getting things set up. I mean, really, we probably don't even need a tarp tonight just because there's not any rain in the forecast. But just to keep the dew off of our sleeping bag and stuff, we will take and do something with the tarp just to, you know, practice some setup if anything. Alrighty, so for our shelter, we've got our 6 a.m. outdoors tarp. This is actually a pretty large tarp, and this is a smaller version of theirs. They make like really light, ultra light gear. Then we've got this German ground mat slash ground sheet or elephant skin. For anyone that is big into the old European surplus, you'll know what that is. Just going to be using jute twine again. Don't need nothing extremely sturdy because shouldn't have any adverse weather coming through. I feel like we've got this spot right here pretty much figured out. Get this down. This is primarily just to protect our air pad, and then one side of this is a little bit grippier than the other, so it won't be sliding around too much. The question now is, do we want to go with a bit of an A-frame design, or do we want to go with more of a plow point setup? I think for this one, I feel like it's been a while since we've done it. Let's go with the more traditional A-frame design. I do plan on doing some more tarp shelters coming up, just because I've been in the mood. I've been getting that itch to do some like more, when I say advanced tarp shelters, at the end of the day, tarp shelters truthfully are not that crazy. I think sometimes people get a little bit overwhelmed with certain tarp setups because it seems like some pretty intense geometry, but really once you understand the stakeout points and stuff, it's really you know, it's not that bad, not that complex, nothing to make your brain hurt that much. So to get this tied up, and I do want to have some space kind of on the sides to allow airflow to come through it. I guess it's going to be in the high 40s, which depending on where you're from, what region you're in, you know, that could seem even cold to some people. But with the sleeping bag I brought with us, we'll be completely comfortable. And I do want to take advantage of that nice, cool air flowing over us. So. And there we go. So we've got our tarp set up in a bit of a flying A-frame, but this is a very broad and wide A-frame shelter by definition. I just come over here and use one of these tie outs because this tarp does have tie out points here along the side so that you can pull your walls out depending on how you want to set this up, just so that if we did get any one of those random mountain showers, that will drain a lot better. But we've got our area opened up right there, so now we will take and move on and get our bedding situation set up. And because of the pack we brought out, I did splurge once again and bring out this Zubilee sleeping pad, because by God, this thing is nothing but comfortable. And then we've got our Vertex Arizona bag that's got the built-in bug net around the face area, so that we don't have to have an additional bivy. We just got our tarp. Plus, the outside of this thing is shower proof. It's highly water repellent. So in the event anything did kind of get up on it, it would be fine. My main hope is that this German surplus ground mat will kind of keep this thing from sliding all over the place once we get everything on it and situated. But nice, beautiful bed situated. Then, like I said, we got our Vertex Arizona bag. We'll go ahead and get it out. Normally I would wait, because it's not like we really got to wait for this to loft up. I didn't even have that thing compressed down in its stuff sack, because I've had that thing stored, which I'm hoping, I'm kind of testing out to see with it and then its brother, the Montana bag. It seems like when you have the stuff sacks fully uncompressed, that it seems to be a decent storage bag. I've been storing my sleeping bags on a hanger in a closet, but I'm running out of space, and so I need to put things in the gear shed. And even though it's sealed up pretty dang well, I still don't want to run the risk of a mouse or something getting in there and messing up my nice sleeping bags and stuff, insulation, by not having them in a storage bag. So for now, I'm going to store them in the storage bag uncompressed. But there is the mosquito netting, bug netting, and we'll just make sure that we got it zipped closed so nothing can get in there while we're messing around. But that will be our insulation and our bug protection for the night. Then I thought I might as well bring out a chair again. Just some of the luxury items, why not? It's not like our shelter system was taking up too much room. And there we go. We got, that's right there, that's a sit pack chair. There we go. A nice sitting position. And then I've got a new titanium box stove that we're going to be trying. This one is one that come from CountyCom. As you guys know, if you've seen the EDC video or just a lot of my stuff in the past, I really do like CountyCom's stuff. So far, I've not got a single dud from them. And this titanium stove seems to be no different. Now, again, if you've been around, I've used a good number of these firebox stoves. At the end of the day, they're pretty simple. A lot of them are similar. This one does have a feature that I like that is different from the ones that I've used so far. And that is there's no bottom loading slot. You load your wood in from the top. And I like that because when you load stuff in at the bottom, after about a solid 30 minutes to an hour of using the stove, it fills up. Stuff just starts kind of roll out the bottom of where you like try to feed wood in. So I would much rather have a top load where you can push it in, and then if anything, after the ash and the coals and stuff start to build up, take the leather gloves, move the stove over, and you're good to go. And then you ain't got to worry about like little pieces of wood roly-polying out of your stove, you know, the second you turn your back. But we got that, so that's what we'll be using to boil our water. And then again, in this stand of woods, there's an abundance of fuel. So I want to put this together, just slots in the side. Again, done this many times, and I can show it in more detail in another video at some point in the future. But this one also, too, I got to say their machining that they do is really, not trying to overhype it or nothing, but the machining they do is really good, because some of the box stoves that I've used in the past, the machining has not been nearly as good as this, and it's really loose, and that can make it a little wobbly and funky to actually piece the stove together. Whereas with this one, as you can see, I was just holding it there one-handed. Everything was staying in place, nothing fell apart. You've already got your box in place, and you can see right there, that's the area that I'm talking about around here where it slots place. Oh, but one thing I did forget to do is put this in, which you got to do that. And that's just your bottom base plate here. There's a solid one, and then there's this one, and this is the one that you want to use if you can, because it will allow the most airflow, which will equal the most efficient burn. But the solid base plate is so if you're somewhere, especially I know like overseas in places, if you don't want to take and cause any burn scars to the ground, such as on public lands, then you can put in the solid base plate. And then you just have a singular pot stand divider in this one. Again, that is something that I do like, because sometimes the two-piece cross pot stands can be a bit wonky to get in place together and line up. Pots in place, and then we got ourselves a beautiful little firebox stove. Okay, now to address the elephant in the room, let's talk about the jacket that I brought with me. So some of the military surplus guys out there will probably know what this is. This is a Swiss Alpenflage M70. I'm hoping I got that right. M70 jacket, and this thing is very, very unique and pretty cool in my opinion. So even though every place I've seen just refers to this as a jacket, to me, it's a smock. And this is what I decided to bring out with me, because I've had this now for probably almost 2 weeks or so. Just kind of wore it on cool nights and everything, but it's not got cool enough for me to actually break this bad boy out. Now, you know, if you're not familiar with it, this camouflage probably looks pretty stupid. But I gotta say that just taking it out to some areas that still had some larger leaf foliage left over from fall, this thing can blend in pretty decent at a distance. Like, do your own research into the history of this camo, because again, it is pretty interesting. And there's channels like Uniform History and stuff like that where they actually go into detail about this. But essentially, this jacket was meant to be like take place of your standard load-bearing equipment, like belt kits and stuff. So this thing has pockets all over it. It's really hard to see, and I will be doing a video, like a gear loadout video with this. And then it'll probably be fall whenever I'm actually able to get out and do some overnight camping and or hunting with this jacket and the kit contents. But this thing's got tons of pockets, like more pockets than I'm going to go into detail with right now, because that would take another 15-20 minutes to go into all the pockets that are on this thing. But I'm going to refer to it as a smock, Alpenflage smock, Swiss, whatever. Fantastic feeling jacket. This one come from Go Army UK. That's where I got this. And then I've also got the backpack that integrates into this. And that's right, this thing does have a backpack that actually has straps that attach to the jacket, because this jacket was meant to be, at the end of the day, just a do-all, be-all load carriage solution. So I thought that was just super interesting. I don't know, it's all we'll really need. Worst case, I could always kind of drape my Arizona bag around me, but based off my personal tolerance for cold, it won't even be getting down to the 40 whatever, you know, until like the middle of the night whenever we're actually already in our sleeping bag. So just for hanging around, this thing right here will do the trick. So Oh, and then for tonight's gourmet dining meal option, we have got some country style chicken pot pie. This one is very, very good. So now that we got our stove going, we'll get some water boiling. Might be enough left in this. Alrighty guys, well, that meal was very, very good, but I'm ready to hit the hay, so we'll just take and put our boots and stuff in our chair here. I need to get our pill out. Air pad's still nice and inflated. Because there is a lot of stuff crawling around, mainly granddaddy longlegs and ants. But in this particular spot where I've got everything laid out, doesn't seem to be nearly as bad as off and around. I'm just glad we got another fairly cool night to come out. It does feel really nice temperature wise right now. Oh, there we go guys. So I'm just going to lay here and nod off, and unless anything goes bump in the night, I will talk to y'all in the morning. So good night. Good morning guys, how's it going? I gotta say, that right there was an amazing night's sleep between the cool temps and again this sleeping pad, having a thicker sleeping pad. That was just really nice. I didn't get anywhere near too cold. You know, I'd say in that mid 40s range is when you kind of start to get to where this bag's comfort limit is. I have used this Arizona bag down to freezing, but that was also wearing like all of my warming layers that I was wearing during the day at the time. Done really well. The mosquito netting around the face area kept anything from crawling on her face. Now I'm going to take and get everything packed up. I'll bring you guys along for that, because that's the nice thing about doing such a simple setup like this is the takedown, the pack up is super quick and easy. So I am going to take and get her jacket back on us here. Oh, because it is still pretty cool this morning. Should be warming back up into the high 60s for today. Alrighty, so got everything packed up. That took no time at all. I'm ready to head out of here and get back so that I can have myself a cup of coffee. Somehow managed to completely forget to bring any type of coffee with me. And I got to have some of that caffeine in the morning. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you've not already. Share the channel and the videos with your friends, family, anybody that enjoys good outdoor activities and gear. Speaking of gear, I will try to link to everything that is still available on the internets down in the video description, which is below the video. If you're watching this on TV, I know it can be a little bit harder to navigate in and around those areas, but just know that the gear will be listed out down there. And really glad we got to take and go ahead and break the Alpenflage smock, the M70 jacket out before having to wait all the way until fall when the weather starts to get more bearable outside, because we're getting ready to roll into the hottest and most humid days of the year. But hopefully those go by fast. So, yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this. Hit me in the comments section, and until the next one, adios.